What's up, guys? Rob here with Offroad Addiction. Today we are taking a look at another super build that we're getting ready to do. We're back in the shop and we're going to be checking out this super build that we're working on. This thing is going to get all of the Offroad Addiction treatment. It's already a pretty well built Jeep. It does have the stock 3.6 in it, but it does have an Edelbrock supercharger on it. Or for those of you who are like Mike, it's an Elderbrock. It's got Dynatrack axles under it. I heard that. But yeah, so Grant is in the process of tearing this thing down. He's got the body off of it now. He's working on getting all the wiring and brake lines and stuff off of it. Then he can start working on getting the suspension stripped down. And then we'll cut all the bracketry off and do what we do, put all our Offroad Addiction suspension on it. He's already got control arms built. They're not polished yet, but they are built. And yeah, it's gonna be another epic super build out on the trails. So like I said, it was already a pretty well built Jeep. It's sitting on coilovers up front, Fox shocks in the rear, but we're gonna take all of that stuff off and you guessed it, we're gonna put ORIs on it. 12-inch ORIs all the way around. This thing is gonna be hitting the trails and being as stable as you can get. Get rid of this anti-rock sway bar, no offense. So we won't need any of that stuff anymore. I heard rumor about maybe some rock sliders, but I haven't got confirmation on that, so don't hold me to that. But yeah, it's, like I said, it's gonna get the OA treatment, so I think it needs a new belt or something. I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna need to address that. We're also doing some maintenance and stuff to it. It's got whoever put the skid plate system on had to do some grinding to make some stuff fit, and they got into the upper aluminum portion of the oil pan, and it was pouring oil out everywhere. And we thought maybe it was an oil cooler, but when we got under here, found the oil pan just has a grinder has been through it. So we're gonna fix that, which it'll be easy. We don't have to take the body off to fix the oil pan, but it's just seemed like the simplest way to do it. So Generac tank, it's getting a Generac fuel tank. Go back here, 25-gallon fuel cell. Just looking at this, I can tell you right now, the bumper is probably gonna have to go away. So it's on stock width axles, so that does make it a little bit more challenging. We really have to make sure that all our stuff is 100% correct. Our current setup is designed for full width axles, so we will have to do some kind of triple checking and making sure that all of our bracketry and geometry works for the stock width, so we don't, under articulation, don't get into the ORIs or anything. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a cool build. I love the color of this Jeep, Gobi. Like I said, it's already a pretty well built Jeep. Got Generac cage in it, corner armor. It's nice rock sliders already, so 40-inch tires. But we're gonna make it better, because that's what we do here at Offroad Addiction.
All right, guys, listen, I was gone for a day on Friday last week, and in one day, Grant got a lot done. So I apologize, but just pretend, here, let me just steal some clips from Black Widow.
Am I safe here?
I'll just pretend that it's this frame getting pulled out and the axle's torn off. Anyways.
This sucks.
This sucks?
Because the long arm kit, whatever shop did it previously, like, they just boogered everything up. Slots in the bracket that you're supposed to weld to the frame for more support, which they did that.
Yeah.
Good.
Now you gotta take it off.
Yeah.
It was designed to not come off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, they didn't get too good of penetration, because, like, I'm just trying to grind the weld out. That way I can knock this piece off. It's a 1/4-inch plate, and you don't even get like a third of the way through it, and you can already see the material separating from the weld. And like the welds are fat, like they're huge.
Yeah, so that's got to be like smooth. Yeah, I see what you're fighting right now.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody can do it, it's you.
You can tell it's frame because of the way that it is.
What's up, guys? So, got the chassis back from Powder Coat, and Grant has had blah, blah, blah. What's up, guys? Got the chassis back from Powder Coat, and Grant has been working his tail off to get it reassembled. We're kind of on a crunch time to get this thing back together. Customer's got an event coming up, and per usual, we're under the gun to get it knocked out. So, everything's been powder coated. Arms have been built and installed. He's putting the fuel tank in, engine's back in. We did have to replace oil pan and oil pan gasket. So yeah, so that's where he's at on this, just going back together with it. Let's talk about the suspension a little bit. I'm gonna go this way, you go that way, I guess, I don't know. So this is what we have dubbed our super build suspension. It is a triangulated 4-link in the rear and as triangulated as we can get in the front with a track bar. If you'll notice, all of our bracketry lines up with a hole on the frame. We're not quite there yet, but basically our end goal is going to be, customer calls and says, hey, I want this suspension, but I want to do it myself. We'll be able to, sorry, it's really cold and sniffy. I want to be able to put this on myself. The end goal is for us to be able to ship that customer the product and there not be a question as to where each individual component goes. So everything's kind of keyed and has a location that it specifically goes. I want to talk about these rear towers. I had a comment that said those towers are bad. He used a bad word. I'm not using a bad word. They're no support. They're no good. Well, I want you to take a really, really close look at this thing. So everything's made out of 1/4-inch material. The way we do this is we install this cross member first, get it all solidly tacked in, then we cut the frame out, then we install these towers, and then if you look underneath, they're also boxed in. This, you could go jump this 20 feet, maybe not 20, I don't know, the axles probably wouldn't hold up to that, but you could go jump this, and I promise you, my towers are not going anywhere. It's a proven setup. It has worked really well for us. Go watch our YouTube videos. Black Widow got 300 horsepower to the rear wheels and just beats on that thing. His towers are solid as can be.
And Scuba Steve, right?
His is a little bit different.
Okay.
So I will say his is old school and has
Okay,
the
I didn't know.
tower going
I know
across
yours did, and
Yeah.
White Widow, right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that was before we developed.
yeah, but once we designed this, we were trying to gain some cargo space. The bar going across there takes up a lot of space, and without the bar and no cross member, we had some deflection for sure. But with this cross member, these things don't budge. They are solid as a rock. I don't know if you're worried about the front towers or not, but they're solid too. You don't trust us? Let's go wheeling, and I'll show you how solid they are. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. This is our super build. It is on, so like I said, we're kind of in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how to make this mass producible, if you will. We still do enough custom stuff around here though, like some Jeeps want full width axles. This guy wanted narrow axles so that he's not too wide because he wants to fit in his trailer, whatever. So sometimes we do still have to do some custom work to make everything work out for each individual application, but we're trying to get to a point where generally our suspension will be able to be purchased from a individual and put in and go wheel. So, and if you don't want to do it, you can always have us do it. We like that too. So the next steps for this, once he gets the tank in, he's got to get brake lines run, fuel lines run, we'll get as much of that stuff as we can before the body goes on. And kind of the last step will be putting the body on, bolting everything up, hooking everything up, and then it'll be ready for Line X. So it's got to go get Line X on the inside of the tub, and then it'll have to have AC charge and all that stuff. But you guys don't really care about all that. But then it'll be ready to go. So we're hoping, realistically, 2 weeks-ish. We're kind of down to all those little fine details. You know, a lot of people don't understand what goes into a build like this. You know, we're going to go back with custom braided steel brake lines front to back, all new fuel lines. We got to put the body harness back in, and then put the body on and hook everything up. So there's a lot to do. A lot of little things that take up a lot of time, kind of time consuming. It'll have to have an alignment and get the struts charged and kind of dial those in a little bit.
What's that?
That is an evap canister mount. So evap canister is normally like right in here on Jeeps. They make some relocates that put them up here. Obviously, we're trying to keep low center of gravity, so we don't really have a lot of room there. So the next best place was here. So we run it here, and then we can run our exhaust through here, heat shield all that, protect it, keep it from melting it or anything like that.
That was the question for me. I genuinely wanted to know what that was.
Yeah, so that's the evap canister. Since fuel tank's no longer here, we got room to put it there, and it's tucked up underneath the skid plate, so you don't have to ever worry about it.
Yeah, there'll be a full skid plate that goes from this cross member to that one. Yeah.
And it covers the transmission
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
All right, cue the music. All right, guys, there it is, legit, all stretched out. So this is our latest super build that we just finished up. You guys have been, I don't know what I'm saying. Hang on, I got a text message. Who we talking to me? It was Harbor Freight. It was just Harbor Freight. All right, guys, there it is. So we're just gonna go walk through, kind of go over all the things that we did to it. And so we'll start on the front end. So the first thing you're gonna notice is that Off-Road Addiction tie rod. Yep, that's right. That's 2.5. No, I'm sorry. That's not 2.5 inch. That's 2-inch aluminum. 2.5's on my mind because we're working on some things. That's 2-inch aluminum, 7075, with rare parts tie rod ends, replaceable cartridges. Should be the last tie rod you ever buy. With a Webb's Off-Road clamp with the flush mount bolts. Super nice clamp. So if you guys need a clamp, make sure you get with him or us. We can get them for you too. If you come on around here, of course we did our normal super build treatment where we cut everything off the frame, cleaned it all up, put all our brackets on, and powder coated it so the frame is fully powder coated. We got our 12-inch ORIs here in clear. So this particular Jeep has Dynatrac axles under it. So we just kept those axles. They are a stock width axle. That does change some things for the super build, so just be aware of that. But we put some metal cloak upper control arm joints in the axle so that they can have all the movement that they need for the amount of travel that we have. The stock bushings just don't hold up, so we put the metal cloak ones in. Those should last for a long time. Of course, we've got the aluminum lower control arms. And see what's underneath there? All right, let me get a creeper. All right, first thing you're gonna notice, this thing has got a flat belly underneath it. Big giant 1/4-inch skid plate covering the transmission, transfer case, and all the essential things under the belly. Of course, we have our 2-inch aluminum lower control arms, running ballistic joints in those. You'll notice we've got Adams drive shafts, 1350 joints on either end. Custom exhaust, another Adams drive shaft with our triangulated 4-link in the rear. Of course, aluminum lowers, steel uppers. Custom brake lines from all the way from the front to the back. Braided stainless steel. Shouldn't ever have to worry about them. They should last you forever. We relocated the evap canister. It's tucked up nice and tight underneath here, so that it'll be protected. You don't have to ever worry about it getting bashed on anything there. Genrite fuel tank in the rear. Behind the Dynatrac Dana 60 axle. Of course, if you look up there, you can see our custom cross member that ties the strut towers together. For all of those who were super concerned about our strut towers folding in, that's why they won't. So, and I can show you some Jeeps to prove it. That's about all that's underneath here. We try to keep it as simple as possible. No need for anything extra when you don't need it. So there it is. Let's go look at the back, the inside of the back. We'll probably have to lower it down for that. All right, so if you come around here, look in the back, you'll notice that everything's fully boxed in. So we build custom boxes to cover up the ORI towers. This customer has some custom stuff going on here, not something we built, but this way you can put the hardtop on it, doors on it, drive this thing with your family to church on Sunday morning. Nobody gonna get dirty, nobody gonna be screaming because it's loud and noisy. So we really do try to think all of that stuff through. This could legitimately be a daily driver if the customer wanted it to be. So as you can see, our ORI mounts Frenched into the frame. Need a flashlight? Probably better get you a light in there. Our ORI mounts are Frenched into the frame there. Like I said, everything's fully boxed, so you don't have to worry about getting anything inside of the tub. And the cool thing about this is, so for instance, if you look over at Black Widow here, who's getting some from freshening up, it's got an LS3 in it, still has our suspension. This one has the stock 3.6 in it with a supercharger, has our suspension. We really can adapt it to fit any platform of JK that you have when it comes to our super builds. Now, to back up, our super builds don't just have to be for JKs either. We can super build anything. We can super build LJs, we can super build TJs, we could super build a CJ if you wanted to. Heck, we could super build a Toyota 4Runner.
We're getting ready to do a Dakota.
Oh yeah, we're getting ready to build a Dodge Dakota on tons and 40s and LS3. It's gonna be a pretty wild ride. So, well, there's legit. It's getting ready to get delivered to the customer, and we're gonna go test it out. Make sure to follow along and see how it does on the trails. We already know how it'll do. It'll do great. That's all I got. So that's the end of this video. Make sure to watch. We're gonna be putting a video out of these guys on the trail. I don't know if it'll be in the same video or not, but make sure to watch. The only way you're gonna be able to watch is if you are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, go get subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post our latest content. Make sure you share it with all your friends so that we can get more followers and continue to do this, because if we don't continue to grow, the guy behind the camera there doesn't have a job. And I know some of you don't really like him because he's shaky and talks too much, but we absolutely love him. So keep commenting, because those comments help us. So don't forget to do that. We'll see you guys out there.